Welcome back, everybody. We are in the News 8 kitchen, and we are joined by Kelly and by Julie, both from Greatest Grains over in Davenport. And I have to tell them both, I'm a little intimidated by today's recipe because it uses some ingredients that might make you nervous if you don't know a lot about them. This is quinoa chickpea soup, and we're going to walk through it today, and hopefully I won't be scared of these ingredients after we're done. So where do we start with this?
So let's go ahead and start with the olive oil. So if you wouldn't mind, we need 3 tablespoons of olive oil just in our pot. We've been heating our pot a bit to about over medium to high heat.
And this is a big pot, so we're going to be able to make how many servings?
Oh, probably I'd say 8 to 12. Yes.
Okay, excellent. So we're going to have leftovers for sure. All right,
For
3
sure.
tablespoons olive oil into the pot.
So whenever you're building a soup, it's really important to build the flavors. So our first layer of flavors is what we call our aromatics. Mom is finishing up the celery now. We've got red onion. Would you like to go ahead and put the red onion in the pot?
Okay, all of this goes in. Okay.
And then the celery goes next.
Okay, how do I scoop this up? Oh, this is allowed. Hands are allowed. Okay, great. Okay, celery going in, and you have them diced pretty fine, but not very fine.
Well, we don't want them to disappear.
Okay, we want them a little bit chunky.
Right.
So we're going to let that become aromatic, and we're really going to let it soften up a bit.
Talking about aromatics makes me feel like a chef. This is great.
We're going to let it soften up a bit. Usually at home, this is going to take 3 or 4 minutes. Once that starts to happen, I have a little spatula here.
Oh yeah, that works better.
You
Thank
have
you.
to stick your arm in there. So next, we are going to add the garlic. We've minced up the garlic a bit. We always wait to add the garlic a little later after we've let the first round of things go a little while, and that's just because garlic burns really easily.
Okay.
So in this way, we just let the garlic go for about 30 seconds once we add it in, and then we're really ready for the next step.
All right. Looks like broth is next.
Sure.
This whole thing?
That's right. We're going to put
mamma jamma here.
2 quarts of broth.
Okay. Let's expedite the process here. In
Double
they go.
fisted.
Vegetable broth.
And as you put the vegetable broth in, we'll be thinking about the next ingredient, and that is the quinoa. This is a really simple soup, and it's kind of neat because the quinoa is going to cook as the broth heats up.
But the quinoa is the scary one. The quinoa intimidates me. Tell me a little bit about quinoa.
So here we have red
Do I
quinoa.
go in?
Yes, all of it.
Ooh.
Quinoa is actually, we call it an ancient grain, but it's actually a seed. But we eat it as though it's a grain in the grain family. It's a complete protein, meaning that it's got all the amino acids, the essential amino acids that our body needs. And we're using red today, but there are many different types.
Okay, I see you have 4 different types actually. How do I know what I'm buying at the store?
Well, go ahead.
You can use them interchangeably.
Okay.
They basically all have the same nutritional value. And so it kind of depends on what you want your final product to look like.
All right, what goes
Half
next
a
here? What do we
teaspoon
have in
each
here?
of pepper, half,
Okay.
and salt.
Whoa. Pepper and salt, in we go.
Here you go.
And it's not quite bubbling yet. Are we trying to get it to a boil?
We want it to boil for a little while, maybe 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay.
And we're going to pretend like that happened.
Okay. Woo, the magic of
And
television.
now here's the other scary ingredient.
Yeah, this is a scary one,
Okay.
a chickpea. Do I recognize that from hummus? Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Only in hummus, you grind it all smooth.
Right, okay.
And we're using them whole. And so now we're boosting the protein a little bit more with the chickpeas.
Okay, and in with
Okay.
some tomatoes. This is a really
Tomatoes.
colorful recipe.
It
It
is.
really is. And the tomatoes, one thing I like is if you don't have tomatoes, canned tomatoes are something that are always in my pantry. So it's really interchangeable. You can use canned tomatoes if you don't have fresh on hand.
And in we go with another colorful one. This is the corn.
Yes.
So this is everything now, right? Have we
Yes.
gotten everything?
I think so.
Okay, so if you look down into the pot, I mean, it's really colorful, a really hearty soup. Even though we're not using any meat here, we're getting great protein, and that's the goal, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So here, do you have a...
Here, do you want to
Spoon?
use mine?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you have that spoon there? And I just want to show you what the quinoa looks like once it's cooked. We've got a little bit here, but it opens up, the grain or the seed actually opens up, and you can see kind of a moon shape. Regardless of what color it is, it kind of opens up white. So that's what the quinoa looks like once it cooks up.
Okay, so how do we serve this soup then?
Well, we can serve it in a bowl, of course, but we have all sorts of different toppings that I think are really fun to use with the soup. We've got, these are just some things that I've come up with. At the end, we garnish with a little bit of cilantro, fresh cilantro. We've got lime wedges. It's really excellent with tortillas. We've cut some fresh avocado or even cheese.
So it's going to have a real Southwest flavor, kind of? Is that what we're going for?
Yes. Once you add the cilantro in, I think that really does a lot for it.
Okay, well, let's get it all loaded up. Let's do a fully loaded chickpea quinoa soup, and we'll see what that looks like.
Denise, quinoa is something that grows on you, really. Once you start eating quinoa, you might be iffy at the beginning,
Sure.
and then as you continue to put it in your diet, you're like, oh, I need my quinoa today.
So it's supposed to be like a pasta substitute. Well, it can be. It can be.
It can be. I think it's really similar to rice in that it can take on a lot of different flavors. Whatever you're wanting to make it with, you can really mold it. So I think it's nice in that way.
Well, here we go.
All right.
That's great.
You like that?
I really like this. This is really good. And the toppings just kind of give it that little extra fun something. So chickpea quinoa soup. I am no longer afraid. You ladies have done an excellent job. This recipe is on our website at WQAD.com.
Thank you.